Hi LEGO fans, welcome to Brick TV. My name's Chris, and today I'm going to be looking at the Marvel Superheroes Mighty Micros sets. There are 3 of them in this theme. There are also 3 in the DC theme, and we've got a separate video for the DC sets. So please head along and look at that. But right now, we're going to focus on the Marvel ones. These are brand new. Anyone who is familiar with the Star Wars Micro Fighter set will know pretty much what you're going to get from these. It's a very similar concept. Quite anticipated, I think. A lot of people have been waiting for these to drop. The low price point of these and the minifigure element certainly are things that are very enticing to people like myself, adults who should know better. Definitely like myself, and also just parents, youngsters, pocket money sets. Just if you've got some spare allowance, these are perfect. So they retail at £8.99 in the UK. They're $9.99 in North America. You just like polybags. You kind of know what you're going to get. They're cheap. They're fun. They're a good distraction. So let's focus on the Marvel ones today. We've got each and every one, you get 2 instructions leaflets, 1 per character. There is also a 3rd fold out. So this is the current, there are the 3 upcoming, current actually, Marvel sets from the new Civil War. Captain America movie coming very soon, and on the back is the all-important part listing. Very useful. So that's the same in all 3. You get 3 of these. So let's focus on one at a time. So right now, let's focus on the first one, 76064, the Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. Let's bring in the Mighty Micros. Here are 2 I made earlier. These are just a huge amount of fun. They're really great. So they zip about, little buggies, little individualized buggies for each one, just oozing personality, really steeped in the personality. So every vehicle is designed to reflect its owner's appearance in some way. So we'll come at this from a couple of different angles. We'll look at the vehicles themselves, the minifigures, the parts in each one, etc. There'll be special consideration given to the minifigures because a lot of people like me are minifigure collectors, and as I've said in the DC video, when these were first announced, there was a lot of hope, I think, placed on these, that these were going to be a very cheap and easy way of supplementing your minifigure collection, or maybe getting some cheaper versions of minifigures that you maybe missed. That hasn't really come to pass, and I'll explain why. So the first thing we'll do is we'll pop these minifigures out of their buggies and we'll look at the vehicles themselves, and then we will look at the minifigures. So start with the Goblin glider car. It's just, you could tell, I think even without the Green Goblin, if you showed me that, I would probably guess it's his, because it's got the green glider elements. It's got the fire coming out of the back. So what we're going to see a lot in all of these 6 vehicles that I'm going to be looking at. So they've all got 4 wheels. Some of them have got different size wheels. They all pretty much start with one of these. So you're going to get a lot of wheels and wheelbase parts. In terms of the components, there's nothing printed. These are nice. Green archers, like them. Green wedges. There's nothing to necessarily write home about. It's fun. This is what you'd expect from a polybag. So let's bring up Spidey's chopper. Spidey gets a lot of choppers, a lot of helicopters. Pretty much every set I can think of, actually, recently, it involves Spider-Man and some form of helicopter, which is weird because he never uses vehicles. Okay, so we've got the Spider Chopper, and yes, we have flick fires. Amazing. Every set needs at least one flick fire, apparently, from Lego. It's crap. Pardon my French, sorry, that was a bit blunt. It's rubbish. It's a spider vehicle. What else are you going to expect from it? I don't know. There's nothing really I would say in there that actually interests me in terms of parts for mocking. Really, I just mercilessly break that down and just keep the parts I want. It's a spider chopper. Let's move it to one side. So okay, so far, I'm not too thrilled about this one. Let's look at the minifigures because they're great. Every minifigure in the Mighty Micro series has at least one accessory, and for these two, the Goblin has got his jack-o'-lantern bomb. Spider-Man's got a camera. Let's focus on. So let's start with the Green Goblin. Just for a start, the jack-o'-lantern is terrific. We've been without a jack-o'-lantern minifigure head for quite some time now. I think the last one was Harry Potter. There was one in a Hagrid set, I believe, and I also think before that, one, the very first DC Superheroes Scarecrow set featured one. So this is long overdue. At the moment, we've got in the recent Scooby-Doo theme, there was a pumpkin, but it wasn't a minifigure head like this. It was actually a molded element, a molded pumpkin that served as a head. But that would have looked a bit daft as a pumpkin bomb, whereas this is perfect. So right off the bat, the scoring points for me for bringing us a brand new up-to-date jack-o'-lantern printing. So I love that. We will go into the printing on this in a second. Spider-Man camera, yep, okay, nice and straightforward. So let's get these guys on a minifigure, on a plate, and we can do some discussions, comparisons. So the first thing to know about Mighty Micro, is the legs. Small legs. They're not adult legs, these are child legs. That holds true for every character in the theme. That's the first obvious thing that differentiates these from the regular superhero minifigures, which we've all been collecting. Purple, blue. I mean, they're good. They're fine. But straight off the bat, you can tell, all right, these might not actually be the replacement, or these might not fit as neatly into my minifigure collection as I expected. What we're looking at here is cartoony versions of the comic book characters that we've been collecting. Just look at the Green Goblin's face. I mean, just full marks to Lego, actually, because that Spider-Man face is fantastic. In the comics, and probably in some of the cartoons as well, Spider-Man's emotions have always been expressed through his eyes. He's a character filled with humour, absolutely dripping with humour. And we don't get that we've not really had it in the films, and we've certainly not had it in the minifigures to date. So that Spider-Man expression is fantastic. The Green Goblin, goodness, that is something, isn't it? I don't know whether I like it. Actually, I don't. I can tell you, I don't like it, but it is what it is. Let's get some comparisons going. I've prepared the actual full-size versions of these characters, just so you can see the differences. So that's the current and today only Green Goblin. There is one coming out very soon, which I imagine it's going to be very similar, possibly a slightly different face. That's the most recent Spider-Man, because you can tell it's got the printed red boots. So let's compare. Let's start with Spider-Man, because it's nice and simple. The thing you're going to see again and again on the Mighty Micros minifigures is any printing is unique. Every torso and every head is brand new. They're all brand new printings. They're simplified. They're kind of enlarged. They're much more cartoony than their regular counterparts. So you can see straight away comparing the two Spider-Man torso there. There's less printing there. There's none of the definition there on the musculature of Spider-Man's chest. Everything's larger, but the face is fantastic. Let's flip it around. Look at the backs. Actually, on the back, there's not much in it, really, is there? That's quite surprising. It's good, though. Yeah, I like that Spider-Man back. Green Goblin. Here's, I think that was the one I was most looking forward to, because the Green Goblin is not an easy figure to get. He's in one junior set that's, I think it's £25, and everything else about that set stinks, except the Green Goblin. So if you're only buying it for that, that would be a very expensive minifigure, and that's how I got it. There's the only way you could get this guy. So this is clearly not a cheap, this is not a cheaper way to get the Green Goblin, because what you've got here is a tiny little gremlin monster guy. Look how cartoony he is. So I'm not even going to begin comparing these two, because one of them's perfectly acceptable and the other one is perfectly acceptable for children. I suppose that's what Lego is, isn't it? Yeah, the back printing, again, very, very, very basic on the micro version. And I should probably point out, yeah, dual print. Pretty much every Marvel superheroes character, if there's some kind of hair or head accessory, will come with a dual face print, and that's superhero, not just Marvel. That goes for DC as well. And there is, yeah, there's nothing on the Mighty Micros version. I think that's probably just a way of keeping costs down. So there you have it. So this is not a cheap and easy way of getting a fantastic Green Goblin, but it is a great way of getting a really cool Spider-Man face. All right. Okay, let's move on. So, Spider-Man, before we move on, Spider-Man vs. the Green Goblin. That's okay. It's not terrific, but it's okay. Next up, 76065, Captain America vs. Red Skull. Just dripping, absolutely dripping with character, these two. Just look at the Captain America. So, well, in fact, we'll do the same thing. We'll take the minifigures out and we'll address those separately. Let's stick to the vehicles to begin with. So, we've got Red Skull's Hydra Tank, which is a smaller version of the Hydra Tank that he was in a previous Lego set, which was the first set to feature Red Skull. In terms of parts, okay, we've got lots of wheels, great. Oh, we've got some good green though, good olive green. 1x6 tiles, that's nice. I always like these. I find them very useful. Missiles, yeah, okay. The thing that I find most striking about this is right here. This is a sticker. The Captain America Red Skull set is the only Mighty Micro set to feature stickers. There are no other printed elements. Trying to reduce the glare. There are no other printed elements in the Marvel sets. The DC Mighty Micros have four printed elements, I believe, on the vehicles, and they are all printed. They're not stickers. This is a sticker, and just look at that Hydra logo. I think if anything tells you that this is the Wacky Racers version of Marvel superheroes, of just superheroes as a theme, that it's the googly eyes on the Hydra octopus. Yeah, apart from that, it's fine. It's a nice little olive green book. Captain America's tank is fantastic. What a lovely little build. Absolutely loved making this. Really, really. I didn't expect it to be as intricate. It's very good. I enjoyed it. Again, stickered elements here and here. Anyone who is familiar with Captain America know that's the guy. These are the wings that are on either side of his helmet. That probably wouldn't have been easy to print for Lego. So that's probably why they went down the stickered route for these. It does not rotate. That's pretty much the only movable part, and the wheels on this. But it still looks terrific. Oh, there's that as well. In terms of unique parts, I mean that's pretty much. Oh, this is pretty. The barrel is a plant pot / bucket in this dark blue colour. So lots of this dark blue colour, which is not common. So, but there's not much there. You think, oh great, I'm going to build a huge mock with it. But that's pretty much what you get from polybags. The vehicles, I feel, are secondary to the figures for me. So let's address the figures. Captain America, let's just get the vehicles out of shot. Cap has his shield. And it's the same shield that we've seen in every other Captain America set. And it has the same shield problems, which is that Lego are not brilliant at printing white onto any other colour, particularly red. Can you see how pink that is? Compared to the white star in the centre. I feel like a second layer of paint was needed. It's the exact same shield though, so there's not like they've scripted just for this set. They're all as shoddy, in my opinion. Red Skull has a cosmic cube, which is just a 1x1 trans clear brick. Right, let's get these two onto a base plate, or just a plate, and we can talk about how cool they are. Here we go. So, look at the expressions on these guys. Just, yeah, it's like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. So again, hugely simplified printing, hugely simplified versions of the characters. Plain legs. I don't think you'll ever see any printing on the small half-size legs. Everything else about those are just, it's just all cut back in terms of the larger minifigures, which we'll compare these two in a second. So there's the googly-eyed Hydra again. Fantastic. Basic printing on the back for Captain America. No rear head printing, but you wouldn't expect it on these two characters. Cap's expression is great. Red Skull's, goodness, that is fantastic. Let's bring out the larger versions so we can see how they compare. All right, so this was the first comic book Captain America, not one of the movie ones. This was from the in fact, these two large figures here were both in the same set. This was the Red Skull set. Excuse me. So if you're looking at the two Captain Americas, you can see the differences in the printing. It's hugely simplified. The face as well. In fact, what I will say is that the white arms on the Mighty Micro, at first I thought, what is going on there? And then I checked and remembered that's slightly more accurate than the larger one. Captain America in the comics, Captain America's arm, the shoulders were blue, then it cut to white, and then it went to the red gloves. So in more respect, that's actually slightly more accurate than this, even though the larger blue one maybe looks a bit less jarring. I'd like to see in future Captain America sets. I know Lego can now do the sleeve printing. They can actually do two colours on the arms like they started with the Simpsons. So it'd be great if they could ever start doing the blue at the shoulders, then to white, then to red. But yeah, you're not going to look at that and think, this little one, and think, I finally got a great Captain America for my collection. It's not, is it? Red Skull, just look at the differences in the torso printing. You can even that's got a tiny little Hydra. So again, just really underlining there how simplified. I'm smiling at the googly Hydra. It's ridiculous. I love it. All right, so Red Skull Hydra. Red Skull and Captain America Mighty Micros. That's just a lot of fun. It's the Wacky Racers version. So they're good. They're good for what they are. They're not gonna be a replacement or a substitute for your full-size Captain America Red Skull. They're terrific. If you're looking at some kind of comedy mock, or you just like fun minifigures, you can't really go wrong with these two. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was fun to build. It's funny. It's just really funny. Okay, let's move on to the last one. So Hulk vs Ultron 76066. Yeah, this is a different one. So we'll take. It's terrific. Look at the Hulkmobile with the giant green fists, and then the Ultron kind of spider Spider-Bot, that's stuff of nightmares in some respects. Okay, let's take it one at a time. So we'll remove the Hulk. Unless so it's got the purple and green motif going strong. The green wheel interiors, that's not something you see very often actually. There's not much there unique. I quite like the purple sloped pieces. These fists are terrific. They can rotate. I think that's an excellent addition. They're actually the fists from the normal Hulk minifigure. This one. So that's the difference in size. So we'll come back to this guy. But that's the Hulkmobile, Hulk smash, fists. Yeah, fair enough. Ultron. Let's remove Ultron. We'll come back to him. Wow. When you think I'm going to make an Ultramobile, I don't know where I would have gone with that. That's about as nightmarish as I could have imagined. So what have we got? We've got lots of grey, lots of silver. It's got more character, I think, than a lot of the vehicles, and all of these are pivotable. There's not much to it, but there's not much to the others. Every Mighty Micros is essentially just a polybag, and that's about the same. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Let's move to. So we'll do an Ultron. We'll do Ultron first. Ultron comes with a spanner for his accessory, because there he went. Because he likes to improve himself. Lol. Right, let's put Ultron there. Grey legs. Actually, I think this is a really good Ultron. Actually, it's simplified, as all the rest are, but I don't think that's a negative. I really like the head. I really do. I mean, it fits inside. If I can get it, yeah. So it's just like the parts that they made for the Age of Ultron sets. So let's bring the Age of Ultron Ultrons out so we can see what they looked like. I have to say, I mean, I was never a real fan of the Age of Ultron design from the recent Avengers film. It served its purpose, but I was more of a fan of the original comic version, which this is very, very, very close to. I mean, that's not great. That's better. I'd say that head has actually a better Ultron head than any of the others. And I probably wouldn't feel too bad actually about using this head on this body, taking this off, the headpiece off, and replacing it, which I'm not going to do now. But so score 1 really for the Mighty Micro set. I think that's a terrific Ultron head, even though it's cartoony. It actually looks much more authentic. Okay, Hulk. Let's get him on a base plate. And let's focus it. So Hulk comes with a drumstick. The accessories were always going to be a bit random for these two characters. Stiff arms. Let's get him back on that. Alright, so was this going to be a cheap way of getting a Hulk? Not really. It's a comic. It's a cartoon Hulk. So we've got some torso printing. That looks more like Hawkeye's belt than Hulk's belt. Purple trousers all the way down, which of course Hulk doesn't have. Hulk's trousers tend to rip off just at the knee. But as I've said, I don't think I've ever seen them do any kind of printing on the short legs before. Hulk's expression is manic, and there's no other face, but the hairpiece is good. The hairpiece is pretty good. So let's do a comparison against from this. Now this is actually still sealed. I've not opened this guy. This was an old Hulk mini. So this is a minifigure, same size as this guy. I mean, you can see the difference. Actually, there's not a huge difference in the torso printing. The legs are better in this one because they're full-size legs, so they've got the half printing there and the ripped trousers. The hair on the polybag in my hand is not as good as the hair on the Mighty Micros, but the face is better. So actually, I would put this piece of hair on this guy if you wanted to make a smaller minifigure scale. Well, minifigure sized Hulk. And then let's compare, let's move from that to this. Wow, okay. So this is the first Hulk that came out a few years ago in some of the comic book sets, and it was also from the first Avengers movie set. Different to the more recent Hulk, which was a dark olive green. I mean, this is to scale with the minifigures. It's brilliant. So I mean, there's very little point comparing it to apples and oranges. It was just to give you an idea. So this really is not going to be. This is never going to be satisfactory Hulk. I don't for me personally, but at least you can tell it was supposed to be with the H there and stuff. But yeah, all right. Okay, so that's all the minifigures. So let's sum up. So Marvel Mighty Micros. You can't really go wrong. $8.99 each, or $9.99. Every set has about 80 parts in it, roughly about 40 parts per build, per vehicle. You're looking about 5 minutes build time per vehicle, maybe about 10 minutes per box. Or if you just following the instructions, taking your time, if you try and rush through it, yeah, you're going to be done in 5 minutes. There's not a huge amount of content in these, but there aren't in polybags. Every box is the equivalent of 2 polybags, essentially. But the addition of the minifigures is what really elevates these. Are there replacements for the full-size Marvel minifigures? Not for me personally, no. They've carved out their own little niche, I think. These are the cartoony Marvel superhero minifigures, with possibly the exception of that Spider-Man head, which is just Hall of Fame for me. I'd be quite happy to use that in some of my Marvel mocks. I think that's terrific. But these, for the price, I don't think you can go wrong. Would I recommend them? Yeah, I think you know what you're getting. If you see these on offer, which is probably going to be likely soon, snap them up. It's just fun little distraction, nice part packs, and some decent fun minifigures, as long as you don't expect them to fit right in with the rest of your Marvels. They're not designed for that. I think Lego deliberately went down this route to keep them separate. I'd be very happy to see more of these. We've got the DC ones. We've got 3 of those there in a separate video. So please head on over and have a look at that review. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, all that. It helps us spread the word. So thank you for viewing, and check back for more reviews coming soon. Thank you very much. Bye.